Sid Barrett aged Pink Floyd. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, we are custom creator. I'm Danny Lee, OGT, that's OGL. I've been up all night, so has he. I've been doing
Both been hard
reactions
to
and
hard at work.
yeah, um, yeah, we both done meaningful shit. So I've been loading stuff on Patreon and he's been working. So it's nice to have some good music to react to. So
Pink
ever
Floyd,
since
man.
we did a inside look at Sid Barrett. I forget what it's called, but it was a lot of things being shoved into basically out of context that he said. So it really wasn't a proper portrayal of Sid. Basically the biggest thing I have to go by is Roger Waters talking about Sid and a little bit of Richard Wright in an interview. So and the music. Wish you were here. Shine on You Crazy Diamond. And I think there's one more song that supposedly is Sid inspired it, but
Sid was considered a very visionary songwriter when when Floyd first started. Had a sort of unique, whimsical style of writing, which is very different from the Pink Floyd that we know, or at least that we've come to know with songs, with albums like Dogs or like Animals, excuse me, or The Wall, where they're very dark and very personal. Sid has a much more whimsical way of looking at things. I think he only did one complete album with the band. I think he was able to do some songs off of the second album. Piper at the Gates of Dawn was the first one, but his spirit has always been with the band for a long time. But we've never actually heard what they sounded like with him. We just know it sounded a lot different. I've heard a cover version of the song from another band. So I have no idea what this original version sounds like. And I think it's time to give this era of Pink Floyd some love.
yeah, I've been told that it sounds more poppy, like
Or Beatles ish.
the Beatles. Yeah, kind of like the Beatles, but that's also someone's interpretation of it. So as you can see, our logo, um, without copyright infringement, it's basically the Tool third eye and the Pink Floyd triangle with different um, hue on the colors, and they're mixed together, and it's a love that image. So
The custom creator crystal of the third eye.
and this is kind of a Pink Floydish Tool mixture type thing I liked. So, but yeah, we'll get into this because I am ready, man. I think.
Really intrigued. Heard so much
So
about this era of Pink Floyd.
the lyrics are lime, and let me change that damn color, man. Read that. Oh, psychedelic.
Hey, it's actually lime and limpid green.
Lime and limpid green. A second chance, a flight between the blue you once knew floating down. The sound resounds around the icy waters underground. Jupiter and Saturn, Oberon,
Oberon.
Oberon, Miranda, and Titania, Neptune. Titan scars can frighten blinding signs. Flap, flicker, 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 blam. Pal, stairway, scare. Dan, scare Dan. I'm Dan. Dare, who's there? Lime and limpid green. The sounds around the icy waters under lime and limpid green. The sounds around the icy waters underground. So yeah, trippy as fuck, man. I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to deep dive on that. It's just there's some very cool imagery there that is obviously coming from a very unique perspective.
no doubt about it. So, all right, let's get to it. 1968. This is, what was the name of the song again?
Astronomy Domine.
Astronomy Domine.
Yep.
Tyner Clankin, 1968.
Between a second scene, the fights between the blue you once knew. Floating down, the sound resounds around the icy waters underground. Jupiter and Saturn, over on Miranda and Titania. Stars can frighten.
That's a good place to pause it. Ooh, look at that face coming through. That's some weird shit, man.
Yeah. No doubt.
So, clear the air here. I've done psychedelics many, many times. Hypothetically, OGL has not, but he has been with me several times. Not physically, but a few times I have made recordings. There's a fisherman video that I might put in the. We don't really promote it because it's you gotta be 18 to watch it, but it's
It is so funny.
it's me pretending to be tripping, trying to watch the sun come up, and fishermen keep trying to back their boats in. I ain't got nothing against fishermen, but with their headlights on, and it's just a comedy skit. Couldn't have done no better. It's
Very
really
stream
good.
of consciousness.
And Roger Waters is part of it because Animals was the only thing I had, and yeah, so Roger looks so young. So
That's
check
crazy.
out that video. It's worth it. Trust me. So, yeah. So, I mean, I like it, but I don't think it sounds like the Beatles. I think it's just a product of the time when the recording equipment all sounded similar, and they're from basically the same area, right? I mean,
not sure where specifically they're from. They're both British bands, so I'm not sure what area.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what I meant. Yeah. I mean, and David Gilmour is not in this band yet, right?
No, he was brought in, I think, when things started to decline. So
right.
But I think the only thing that sounds Beatles-ish, number one, it's a really nice melody going on. That feels very
the melody is
spacey and ethereal. And there's some like kind of light, high harmonies going on. But plenty of bands have done that. I guess because the Beatles were big back then, they equated it with that. But other than that, like there's some crazy sounds here. Like it sounds like there's Morse code going on in the background, and just some things that fade in and out. It is trippy
I
as
could have
hell.
swore I heard the some what the hell you call it, Capricorn and Leo and all that shit, the signs,
the constellations, the zodiac.
I could have swore I heard that at the beginning. That's a great picture of Sid.
Yeah.
And that's Richard
Nick.
Wright or Nick Mason.
That's Nick Mason with the
Richard Wright's on keyboards and bass, right?
Yeah.
And that looks like blotter LSD. I'd like to find Roger there. That was a very young Roger.
Look at the mustache there. There he is.
There's that nose.
There is
Look at
like he's
Roger,
got such
boy.
a unique facial structure. It's like it's young Roger, but you can tell. Oh, there's Raj. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the interview. The only cool part about that Sid thing we done was that before Sid, he hadn't lost his mind at all, and we know psychedelics was a big part of that, and schizophrenia. I think that's a very dangerous combination because psychedelics kind of tap into the fundamental your DNA kind of, and if there's a break in the code or there's already what's the right word I'm looking for, a defect basically. If there's something wrong already, then the psychedelics can push that over the edge. And that's where the whole, saying they took acid or whatever and they never came back. And acid, by the way, is the only psychedelic that is man-made. Every other psychedelic is in nature. All right, so see if you can hear the zodiac things. Scorpio, Libra.
Morse code.
I just noticed they spell their name different.
Is that how they spelled it back then, or was that just a typo by whoever made this video? What's the Pink Floyd?
This is the official video, I think. This is Pink Floyd.
So I guess they did spell it different back then. Wow. And this is from Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah, this is official. So, I don't see them spelling it that way, though. That could be purposeful because of the nature of the video.
Very possible.
No, I'm trying to find a Y in there now, but a Y, that's why.
Between a second scene, the fights between the blue you once knew. Floating down, the sound resounds around the icy waters underground. Jupiter and Saturn, Oberon, Miranda, and Titania. Neptune, Titan, stars can frighten.
Like Joni Mitchell. Yeah, I'm gonna have a flashback. Um, I was just kidding about the Joni Mitchell thing. Seems like she's in everything like this. It makes sense though. Astronomy domain's kind of like it's kind of like domain and dopamine as a mixed word. Or do mine. I'm not sure, but I love the way the video's put together. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of. I mean, there's percussion, but it's not really. I mean, I know the guitars and the. I know it's all percussion basically, but if there's any kind of there's got to be keyboards or stuff. There's something's making those. It seems kind of like the Twilight Zone noise and a mixture between that and what the astronauts Houston when they're Houston, Yuri me or whatever, and
Yeah.
all that goes along with astronomy, along with the Libra and the constellations. Yeah, it's floating down the sound resounds around the icy waters underground Jupiter and Saturn, which they say that there is water on the Titan, which is right there,
the moon of Saturn.
the moon of Saturn,
Yep.
but it's all frozen. But they say underneath it, it's not. Or I guess we don't really know. I mean, we've never fucking been there, but blinding signs, flat flicker. Maybe it's like a space probe or the first satellites. Can you Google while we're listening to this when they released the first satellite? I think it was Sputnik or what it was. The first American one being I think the Russians actually launched the first
1957.
satellite.
That was when
There
the
you go.
Russians
So, I mean,
launched Sputnik. Yeah.
yeah, so this was right after Vietnam. This is the start of the hippie craze, and we found out from the Muscle Shoals documentary that being a hippie was worse than being an African American in the late '60s, early '70s, as far as being, or in the southern United States anyway.
Yeah. It was not.
Having long hair and being a hippie was not. It was frowned upon. Leonard
Mhm.
Skinner, that's how they got their name. Their teacher, Leonard Skinner, always gave them hell for having long hair. He's actually buried right beside them in the same cemetery.
So
All right,
musically,
go ahead.
the song does seem like an attempt to conjure up what it would feel like to sort of be a satellite floating through space. It's the
On
vocal
acid.
is very the vocal is very airy and it's very light, and then you have the percussion. It's like, you know how some bands, like when they're doing a song with like building up to a big part, he's playing that through this whole song, so like the percussion feels like it's doing like a steady build towards something, but it just keeps that going. um Roger's bass is very much more prominent. It's kind of cool seeing Floyd in sort of this more rock mode, so to speak. There's a descending melody that comes in too, and I have no idea what is playing it because it's a weird sound. That's probably something on Richard Wright's keyboard. That's obviously those early model keyboards has some crazy sounds on them.
Do you see him? Do you see him though? I haven't seen him yet. I've
I-
seen the drums. I see Roger on the bass, and which we know that from Animals. We also have done Animals, by the way, if you want to check that out.
For the other
The whole
side of
album
Pink Floyd,
breakdown.
which was
And-
amazing.
Yeah, and we done Free 4, which was really cool too.
hmm
Yeah, even just reading that Astronomy Domine is kind of just weird.
Yeah,
No my Domine.
yeah. Yeah, see, that never would have popped in my head.
I'm high, so
Yeah. But I I think you're on the correct wavelength to be listening to this song. But like right off the bat, I can see why people thought what they did of Sid Barrett as far as him being this strange, unique, visionary songwriter, because this is definitely out there, and it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, Roger said, well, I didn't know what to do. Sid write the bloody songs. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I had some experience, but I mean, he writes the bloody songs. What the hell are we going to do?
Yeah.
We didn't do much. Has it 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, dropped a couple of hits, hit a couple cases of hits. Roger, you're fucking weird, but we love you. So, didn't Charlie Manson and them have something to do with the Beach Boys or the Beatles? It wasn't the Beatles.
Beatles, Helter Skelter, I think Charles Manson mentioned.
Yeah, Beatles wrote a song,
yeah.
and the Beach Boys was who Charlie Manson tried to, or he actually hung out with them and tried to play. What year was that? Because that seemed like a portrayal of the Manson girls, or maybe they just dressed the same way. But that's how I seen a thing with what is the oh man, the guy that plays on Dust to Dawn, the Trejo,
Danny Trejo.
Danny, yeah,
That's a
Danny Trejo has an interview where he talks about he was in the county jail with Charlie Manson, and Charlie Manson was like a bum, like he had to tie his pants on and stuff. Everybody else had canteen and money. Canteens like money in jail. But when people found out he literally could like hypnotize people, even when brainwash them, even without the acid. So, but that's how these girls were like, failing actresses or whatever, and down on their luck, and he kind of like those institutions that feed on people when they're weak. Charlie pulled up in a van that he stole or something with a bunch of acids, so they looked to him as like a leader of some kind.
He was.
Damn, this is a hell of a trip. I'm not even on drugs.
Yeah, Manson was a very. He was a predator. He knew what he had to do, and he knew how to pick his targets. Helter Skelter was released in '68, so I think that's around the same time. This was '67, I think.
So here's somebody that spelled it the same way. I don't know who these Pink Floyd guys are, but they sound a hell of a lot like Pink Floyd.
Boy, I think it's just.
But I mean, this is the official video. I don't think they misspelled their own damn name.
Unless, like I said, when they first came out, it's very possible that they, or maybe like whoever was doing the video made a mistake. There's
Roger's jawline gives me hope for the future.
I don't know what that means. But
I mean, like, go ahead.
I liked Roger's bass line in that. Like again, the drums were static, so the bass line seemed to be like the one carrying the pulse of the song. Um, so I think the song was actually, or if all of Pink Floyd's work around this era was like this I do think was an influence on bands that came out in the late '80s and early '90s, where it was more about less about like a riff or a melody or something like that, more like sort of unspooling this big textured wall of sound. I'm talking about bands like Lush or Curve, even bands like the Cocteau Twins or Christian Death, stuff like that. So this sound was ahead of its time, and Sid was he lived up to the hype. This is my first time hearing anything from him, and he that's a very unique artistic mindset that he's got.
I like these comments. Heard this in a supermarket once. I could literally be in a box by myself happily if there was any Floyd, if there's any Floyd album on.
Yeah, good taste.
David Gilmour, a quote supposedly. Most people think of us as very drug oriented group. Of course, we're not. You can trust us. Yeah, that sounds like Roger. I love how airy and melted together the sounds are on this record. So dreamy and live sounding. Yeah, I don't think the Beatles sounded like this at all. I mean, I think this is what the Beatles tried to sound like in their like Strawberry Fields and all
Forever,
that.
yeah.
And I mean, that's just my opinion. One of the greatest concept albums. Always have to listen to it start to finish. Unreal. What track is this on the album?
Let's find out. Hyper at the Gates. Dawn, which is an awesome album. So this is
Supposedly, Pink Floyd was the first musicians to play with sound effects and images. Very good group in this period. And then it changes languages. Well, how the hell did you speak English half of it? With the first synthesizers, excellent sound engineers, and excellent acoustics, and of course, excellent musicians. Yeah, what a magical sound. Yeah. So,
interesting. Okay, so it's on the UK release. It's actually the first song.
okay, so we should go in order from here on. Somebody said something about an Italian musician, or wait, I might be saying that. Hold on. Yeah, Italian singer here more than 20 years ago. I was hit by the original Lights who hit Sid in the club concert. Wait a minute, original Lights of the band in their beginning in London during this song, Great Psych Experience. I'm not sure what that means. I was hit by the original Lights. Nobody liked it, so I don't think they know what it means either. Yeah, so
Yeah, I would definitely like to check this album out just to see what the other stuff sounds like. So the ones I'm familiar with were Arnold Lane, See Emily Play, and this song. This one definitely it lived up to everything. It was. I liked the comment that said it sounded airy and melted together. That's a perfect description.
what does this cat mean? It's always weird seeing David miming to Sid's recorded performance. I don't understand.
I assumed that was Sid in the video, not David.
David's not in the video. Yeah, somebody said, "What the fuck? This wasn't Gilmour's voice. It was Sid's recorded voice." That is really sad in a way. Yeah, they didn't know that.
Right,
And they
okay.
did it in that way for all 68 press shows. This thoroughly confused my old brain until I happened across your comment. Man, these people can't type. Thanks. I thought I was going around the twist, as they say. He's talking about the guitar lines, the vocals in this music. It's from Richard Wright. I'm lost too. Empty Spaces Dave also lip syncing to replicate Sid's lyrics. I guess they mean later on.
I'm guessing.
Those Euro hippie girls were beautiful. They had just left Sid behind at this time. There had just, I don't understand why nobody can type right. Yes, he must have felt weird too. Sid sang on this song. They're all arguing over the shit. That's definitely Sid. Piper Gates at Dawn,
Yeah.
released in 67. Gilmore wouldn't become a member of Floyd until December of that year. David changed it. You have to agree. What he did to Sid was disgusting. What the hell are they talking about?
I have zero, unless they're simply
Think
saying
that-
the fact that Gilmore came in to replace him, but Sid couldn't perform anymore. He was
I mean,
declining
how
mentally.
could they go on? I mean,
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, you
not
should be
sure
thanking
they
your
could
Rocky
have
Stars
went
that David did do that. Otherwise, there'd be no Animals, there'd be no Wish You Were Here, be no The Wall. So,
I mean, and just the same, there'd be no Pink Floyd without Sid. So, man, it's
exactly.
31 minutes. What the hell? Sorry,
Short reactions, you
Yeah.
said.
if you're
But
still
it was
here,
a pretty crazy song with a lot of food for thought.
no doubt. Mental health is real. 31 minutes is the longest reaction we've done in a long time for a friggin' 3-minute song. But I love Pink
But
Floyd, so
A crazy 3-minute song. That was a crazy 3 minutes.
yeah. I mean, and those comments were confusing as shit, man. British people
Yeah.
on acid, man. What the hell?
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying to type while they were on
Yes.
drugs. I don't know.
Southern American boy high in the damn 2024 trying to read the shit. Look at my eyes, man. They look like dopamine. The hell? It's dye. It ain't dye. It's edible cookie dough monster. All right, man. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Mental
I'll
health
take
is
you,
very,
shit.
very, very, very real, as we have demonstrated.
Well, man, that's actually, that's probably bad. We actually do advocate mental health, so and
Sure.
mental
I
health
was not
is
trying to be
definitely.
snarky about that.
Yeah, I just thought about it when you said it. So mental health is definitely real, and rest in peace, Sid Barrett. And
Indeed.
I hope your last days were comfortable inside your head there. But I will say I'd rather be in his head than Roger's.
Oh my God.
Man.
Yeah. Roger's been in that head for 70 years. I can't even imagine that.
Man.
But
So
would
check out the Animals review. I'll put that in the on the end screen up here, and I'll put the fishing video.
But you
as
must
well.
see. You must see.
So,
And more
much
Floyd
love.
reactions coming.
Yeah, we'll do this album in order. So
Yeah.
much love.
There you go.
Wow.